Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'll tell you all about my journey where I experimented with ragdolls and about my first game, Save the Ragdolls. This video exists out of 4 parts on how I went over everything, and of course, in part 1, I created a ragdoll. Of course, I started with the creation of my ragdoll using my exponential art. I did remake the doll after that because I made it way too hard, so it was too difficult to implement in my project. After making the art, I dropped my doll into Unity, and of course, it didn't work yet. So, time for a tutorial. Link of this tutorial and all other references I use in the video are in the description. And of course, when I made the doll, it didn't work on first try. Or second. Oh boy, that still hurts really hard. Third time, good time. This time I made the body a little smaller and it works. But he still didn't want to do his usual ragdoll things and started glitching all over the place. So I wanted to see, how far can I break it? I tried caging the doll so when I were to let it loose it would go crazy inside of the box. Sadly it didn't happen. It glitched so hard that it just flew out of the box. After some searching through the comments, I saw this comment. Special thanks to MacFlop for pointing it out. There was a property change that should be turned off, and in the latest Unity it was turned on. And when I did that, the ragdoll worked like expected. While I was flying the ragdoll around, I really needed to shoot the ragdoll out of a cannon. I didn't understand why, but I just had to do it. And this is how this adventure started. So, in this part, like I said, I really wanted to shoot my ragdolls out of a cannon. I had no clue why, I just wanted to shoot them. And this is where my idea to create Save the Ragdolls took its first shape. I didn't develop games for around 2 months, so when I started this part, I felt really rusty. I started, of course, with making a cannon, which would be used to launch ragdolls. And there we go! The cannon is ready to launch some ragdolls. Normally my favorite thing, but this time a complete hell, was developing the cannon. I really had a lot of trouble getting back into developing because it's been a while. After that I added velocity to the doll when he spawned. And there we go! The doll took off. The ragdoll cannon is complete. No shooting without things to hit, right? So I created some blocks into Photoshop and placed the blocks into Unity. I started building my first building. And like I showed on my Twitter already, I'm not a good architect. And after some small tweaks, I was able to make the building stand. So, part 3 was flat out the worst part I've done. I don't know if I've learned anything or if I actually done anything in this part, but even though I worked like for a couple of days in this part, just nothing happened. I had to work with physics and I had honestly no clue how any of that stuff worked. And the tutorials I followed were really outdated didn't really explain it well. Of course, the people making the tutorials knew what they were doing and they were showing working code, but I just couldn't make out of what they actually tried to say. I started working with rays, which obviously I had no clue about what it was actually used for. But I managed to calculate the distance between the cannon and the mouse with it, so I was fine. It worked. After I made that working, I started shooting with ragdolls in the directions of the mouse. This is where physics started coming in. When I went on a midday break eating my dear lasagna, I love lasagna, I came back and realized how horrible my code was. It was really bad. So I decided to do some quick refactoring to make the code better. And then hell broke loose. It was time for physics. After 2 hours of following a tutorial, I created an arc. I couldn't use it, I didn't know what it was, I had no clue what to do with it. But I made it, and I don't know. I just couldn't do anything with it. After that, I created an arrow to basically aim my projectiles toward where my mouse is, of course. And when I shot dolls, they didn't launch towards I wanted to, because I, of course, had no clue how physics worked. And they didn't receive any velocity. Meanwhile, when I gave it to a bullet, it had velocity. So that was really frustrating and weird. After multiple days wasted searching forwards, making forwarding posts, I decided to give up on making my ragdoll fly and started throwing my code away. Alright, in part 4, here is where the magic happened. After spending a lot of days on practically nothing, and have nothing learned at all, and not being able to fix the concept of shooting my ragdolls out of a cannon, I had to come up with something else. I of course really had to use my ragdolls because this video was going to be about ragdolls, so it would be really stupid to not use ragdolls in the game I was making for the ragdoll game. So, instead of shooting the ragdolls into a building, you had to save the ragdolls from a building. So it isn't an Angry Birds ripoff after all. And this is how I came up with the game Save the Ragdolls. Now I finally had a clear understanding of what I wanted the game to be, so it was time for concept art. And there it is! And this is where I placed my first ragdoll, behind the cannon, ready to save his friends. Now it was time to make a trial board where I described to myself what everything was and what had to be done. After that, I made the chains and hung a ragdoll onto it. At the start, I didn't know a lot about joints, but after a nice tutorial on the different joints, I was able to get my doll ready to hang. Again, the link to this tutorial is in the description. I hung the doll in the building. At this point, I started to get a little demotivated because I felt like I didn't get anything done. I was way too slow, but the drive to get this new video out kept me going. I wanted to make you guys proud, and I kept going. And it was time to improve my content of the game. So I started with making a nice floor and background, and there we go. This bad boy, though, stands with pride. I created an entire new building and never mind. After creating a simple build, I made a simple destroy mechanic and went a little overkill. I improved the mechanic so now blocks have lives and the ground didn't disappear after it got hit by the ball. After that, I made a shooting mechanic to base the shot power on the distance between the cannon and the mouse. Of course, I needed a mechanic to save my princess, and so I went ahead and made a simple one. I created my first real bullet and set up properties. Alright, and this is the end result now. Like you see, you have to destroy the buildings without getting the doll damaged, of course. Just like a human, when something drops on his head, he dies. So he had to lay down for a while without getting damaged to be saved, because otherwise it would be too easy. Alright, this is the end of the video. I'm really happy you got to this point and I'm really grateful that you are here, for you being here. I kept a couple of things out at the end because it all came down to me messing up and trying to fix what I broke, but that's alright. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe if you want to see more and if you liked the video. I really value feedback in the comment sections of the video. And of course, check out my Discord to join the community. Right now, on the right of the screen, you should see a video about my channel and my plans for 2020. The link is in the description, and if YouTube shows the card, you can also click on the card. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll try to make a follow-up video of this one next week. See ya then! Bye!